Our thoughts create our feelings, and our feelings tell us if we're thinking properly. If we're feeling bad, we're having bad thoughts, and if we're feeling good, we're producing good thoughts. You are responsible for your thoughts and feelings. After all, they are your thoughts and feelings. We tend to think a certain way, and then we feel a certain way, and we act like we have no control. But ultimately, it's up to you. You are responsible for your inner space. Misery tends to arise when we believe our negative thoughts. You have to take full responsibility for what happens to you. You have to take full responsibility for where you are at. When we take responsibility for our lives, we no longer allow the ego to play the victim. Refrain from blaming others for what happens to you. If you're still attached to some emotional event from the past, you cannot create a better future for yourself. It's not actually you who gets upset, it's your mind, and you can change your mind. Let's say you're arguing with somebody and then all of a sudden a knock at the door comes, somebody's at the front door, and you're able to stop arguing. Mid-argument, you can just completely stop, and you go answer the door and you're like, hey, how you doing? That's proof right there that you can control it. You have 100% control of how you think and feel. By refraining from argument, you're not allowing your ego to take control of your life. Most of us catch glimpses of presence when we're doing hobbies we love, like hiking, fishing, or doing your favorite sport. When you're in that activity, you're in the present moment because you're only focusing on the task at hand. If you're playing a sport and you're focused on the sport, you're not worried about the past or the future. You're focused on that moment, on playing that sport at that moment. The only real moment is it's now. You always have the now. The past is only an image in your head, and so is the future. The only moment you have is right now. We already know you become what you feel. So the main thing is to choose to feel good. You always want to feel good. If you're not feeling good, then you are attracting bad feelings. Try to feel good all the time and you will attract more good feelings, which will attract more good situations, which will attract good things in your life, all the things that you want, all the abundance that you seek and desire, you can have. You do not have to be a smart person, super talented, or have any special skills to apply these laws to your life and have a successful, happy life. When you complain, you're not in the present moment. You're either in the past or the future. Whenever you're complaining, it's some form of resistance. So whatever you're complaining about is going to be there. It won't go away because what you resist will persist. Being here and wanting to be there causes stress. You have to learn to be where you're at. Accept the moment completely for what it is. Because if you're here and you want to be there, it's going to cause you stress. Learn to harness and use your powers unless you wish to be used by them. Separate from your mind and use it as a tool. Become familiar with your mind. Become familiar with who you are. To meditate means to become familiar with. Eventually you'll get to a point where you can sense a negative thought before it even comes and you can prevent it from coming. And then, if you do this enough, you won't have to sense it and prevent it. You will just have created a habit to where you're already just thinking positive thoughts instead of thinking negative thoughts. Your environment shapes you. You become the sum of the people you hang out with the most. You become the average of those people. Confront your difficulties. Do not experience them. Take them on while they are still small. Do not let them grow into a big problem. You must plan and mentally picture the thing you desire. This is not just something only a select few people have. Anyone can do this. We were designed to thrive. We wouldn't come into this world being able to fully control our every condition if we weren't meant to thrive. You're a divine being and you were meant to thrive. You were meant to control your every condition. You can with your mind. You can control your every condition. You were not meant to be a follower. Do not close your door of opportunity. People often fail on the verge of success because they pull back on the reins right before they're about to make that leap. You got to make the leap. You got to take the chances, make the jump, and think positive. You got to believe it. If you don't control your thoughts, you can't control your affairs. Man can achieve greatness by lifting up his thoughts, but he will remain miserable and weak if he refuses to lift up his thoughts. We don't see things how they are, we see things how we are. Once you change, the things you look at will change. The truth gets lost for most people because they don't know who they are. You got to tap into your life source and be present and choose to feel good. The more you fear something, the more likely it's going to come true for you. Watching testimonials and hearing people's stories are great, but the real proof is in the pudding. You got to apply this stuff to your life because no one can change you except you. And the biggest change has to happen in here. Your dreams have to be more than just idle thoughts. You have to plan it out and work for it. You have to picture it and you have to really want it. You have to desire it. All great achievements in life are the result of well-directed thought and action. If you guys like what you're hearing from me, please give me a like and a subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. Peace out.